Yo, 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 what's up, Sooner fans? This is your host, Jeremiah Hall, formerly number 27 on the field, but always number 1 in your hearts. Here with me today, you know who it is, my right-hand man, number 9, and still number 9 on the field, Brayden Willis, along with our new guy, D Stutz. And stay tuned for who's number 4. This is the Podcast on the Prairie. Fellas, season 3.
Jay, easy. What up?
Man, long overdue, man.
Bro, whoever would have thought? Ooh.
Man, long time coming, man. I'm glad to get back on here with y'all boys, man. It feels like forever, man.
I want to start off the podcast with first apologizing to our fans, because originally we wanted to get out 2 episodes. You know how we normally do, like fall camp, all that type of stuff. The new who's the next D Stutz, who's the next to B Willie. Our predictions are normally pretty good, but it's hard when you got an NFL guy on a podcast. It's hard to like nail him on his schedule.
Big Hollywood.
Yeah. I got to take a little bit of responsibility for that, man. I've been locked in, been focused, grinding. Nobody told me that, so NFL camps are a little bit weird because they're not as physically demanding as y'all's camps, Stutz, where y'all are practicing 6 days on or 5 days on or whatever. We're 3 days on, 1 day off, so we're like, oh, that's nice. But when y'all started, we had already been 2 weeks into camp, and then y'all finish, and then we're still 2 weeks into camp after y'all been done. I'm like, camp is a month and a week long. I'm like, yo. But I've been locked in, trying to make the team and, just trying to put good days out there, stack of days and everything. So I appreciate y'all being patient with me, man.
We appreciate you, bro. Even though you don't have your mic, you still showed up.
Hey, he's a rookie on and off the field now, man. Forget his equipment, all this, man. Come on.
Like I said, man, I had a lot of stuff to move out here with, limited resources, man. I was just trying to grab everything that was essential to me and, get it all out here. So
it's so weird still seeing the sun out in the background. I'm sitting here having to use a light, Man, I might want to take my hat off. I didn't shave, so I got this little binky hat on.
I'm in the middle. We finished camp literally yesterday, so I'm still a little scruffy and everything. I'm getting a haircut this weekend, so we got it on the way.
Danny came straight from practice, huh?
Yeah, man. It's been a day, man. I mean, B-Will can attest, man. Them Tanoga Tuesdays, there's something else, man. But hey, that's good on good work that you need.
No, it's game week.
I'm gonna be your advocate, Danny. For all the fans, Danny literally had class. You had class this morning, right? And then you're at the facility from 11 to just a few hours ago.
I mean, 11. Maybe got some time to watch film, go to lunch, and then 2:00 team meeting. Get done with practice. We start at 4, practice at 6:40, and then you got to stay after and watch film with the coaches. And that sometimes if it's a good practice, you're in there for another hour and a half.
I mean,
I walked up there by myself. I mean, that's a decision to be great every day because it's easy to just go home, go to the crib. But you know how it is, man. You got to put in the extra work.
100%.
So you got dinner at Headington and then took it back over to the facility.
Hey, all meals are up at the facility, man. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
What?
Yeah, man.
They started doing that last year a little bit too, Jay. We very rarely ate at Headington actually last year. Maybe on a couple circumstances, but they tried to bring most of our meals in the facility. Is it still on 3rd floor, Danny?
Yeah, it's great, man. 3rd floor. They have a way better variety. I'm not gonna lie. Today was steak day and crab legs, man. Steak night, crab legs.
Hey, steak night on Tuesdays. Oh,
hey, but now
Jay, you missed out, Jay. Is crab legs too?
You missing out on the crab legs, man. It gets crazy now.
Crab legs.
Steak and crab legs, Jay.
Hey, you guys noticed that depth chart came out, man. Those D linemen all 300 plus, man.
I saw it.
Cole is 311.
Yeah, Co's 311. DT's 320. Man, it's
Yeah.
all over the place, man. Just 300.
Shout
There
out
ain't
to
a good lineman unless he's a freshman that's under 300 pounds, and that's
shout
unheard
out
of.
to Schmitty, huh?
Oh
Yeah.
Schmitty, the nutrition staff, really gone above and beyond.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad to hear that because a lot of people don't know. In the past we've kind of struggled with the nutrition aspect of it. Not that we didn't have the resources to do
Yeah.
it. It's
Not
just
that
like
we
putting
went
it.
without.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, we didn't go without. It's just putting more of an emphasis on it so that we can perform at a high level. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to hear that.
I should have stayed, huh? Damn.
Jay, look. I
You
was
should have
thinking
ran
that
it
the
back.
other day. Jay, I was thinking that the other day. I'm like, man, they get great food. NIL starting to become more and more prevalent, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, some of these cats have been like, living better than like, you know what I'm saying? Like NFL
Bro,
guys. I'm like, man,
if this
I
if
could
this
have made a good living.
if there's one thing I despise, and I mean utterly despise about being like a normal person, is having to pay for food. Like,
Oh my God, it's the worst.
it is such a inconvenience, bro. Like, what? And
It
my
is.
mom grills me, bro. She's just like, yeah, you've been spoiled for all your life. Da 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 da. No more handouts now, huh? Da 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 da. Now you got to pay taxes and you get your own insurance now, huh? I'm like, dang, mama, chill out.
Don't get me started about taxes.
Hey, Jay Hall, man, it's probably good you left because with all the food we eat, you probably would have been like a left tackle, maybe move you inside in the guard or something like that.
For your information, sir. For your information, I had less than 10% body fat my last year there. Thank you very much.
Hey, man, those watery eggs we
that's
used to
good.
eat, man. Keeping you down.
Hey,
Hey.
I will say though, before you get on, I will say where I'm at, bro, the food is amazing. Like you can
Yeah.
you can real life get fat over here.
Yeah.
So I'm content.
Hey, only OGs remember when I did a breakfast at Headington and I had to eat them cinnamon toast crunch on the plate.
Ooh, yeah,
On the bowl, like,
that was the same day that we were finding like I'm not even gonna say that. You know what? We're
I
just
know
going.
exactly where you're going with that.
Yeah, we're not even gonna say that.
Thankfully, we had Ethan Downs on the team. That's all I got to say.
I'm not even gonna say that.
Ethan Down single-handedly makes up for every one of our mishaps, like just from a spiritual standpoint.
Oh, absolutely.
He's the good guy.
He's a great guy.
Hey, man, that's
you
one
don't
dude.
find many people like him.
Absolutely, he's one of a kind, bro. What a good heart and soul, man. Especially in the locker room, bro. You got to have someone like that.
Oh, 100%. He's the best, bro. I love that kid.
Danny, I've never heard you give a testimony about somebody like that. Is that just because we're on the podcast?
What do you mean, like give a testimony?
Normally, you're clowning people on Twitter.
Nah, man. I always got to share the love to the teammates, man. Without them, bro, I'd be nothing, man. Especially the guys up front, man. Especially this year, man. I'm not gonna get touched. My jersey should just be dirty from tackling people.
Okay,
hey, he's smart. He's smart. He knows this is getting out there. Yeah,
that boy pulling a Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah,
taking care of the guys.
I gotta do more though. That's something I want to been trying to get in the works. Take my guys out.
I remember you telling us or talking about that earlier this year, I think in one of our earlier podcasts. And so I've been seeing a little bit of it. I've been seeing it.
Yeah,
okay.
I got it. We did a retreat. That was really cool. It was fun. I know, offense usually does stuff like that, but never really on the defensive side of the ball. If we, had the chance, take all the guys out and just do some team bonding like that. Just, away from the coaches, just us being guys.
That was great. I'm glad y'all got to do something like that. Like that really makes a difference, like with bonding and just being together and everything. So I'm glad y'all did that. That looked like a good time too, by the way. Like y'all look like y'all had a blast.
No, absolutely, man. Especially, with the transfer portal, man, these guys just come in, don't know nobody. So having the opportunity to meet those guys and leaving the experience, just acting like you've known these guys for years when really it's only been a few weeks. And that's just really great team bonding for sure.
Love that.
Hey, real quick, speaking of new guys, talk to us about a fall camp recap. Like we didn't get to experience what it was like during. Everybody knows at this point, those who listen to the podcast, fall camp is all day. First, let's talk about that, Danny. Talk a little bit about your schedule, and then we'll move into the actual player aspect of it.
Man, fall camp. I mean, you guys probably said it before, but you're waking up. Honestly, we low-key got to sleep in, 7 a.m. I think 6:30 when breakfast would start.
Wow.
So that's not
7
bad.
a.m. is kind of like you're pushing it, but you can still manage your time. And then if you're hurt or anything, you're up there at 5 o'clock getting treatment, 5 a.m. You got to be up. But then we transition into I think, weights. I got CTE, so it's hard to look back. So so long ago, it feels like years. But we'd have weights, and then we'd have a morning practice. So then going into watching film with the coaches, and then going to practice. You know how the rugby fields are, a little bit different over there, taking those buses. Actually,
did y'all drive? Oh no, you guys took a bus.
One thing I don't like is because the experience you have driving, hopping in your boy's truck, driving to the rugby field. It's
you hate the buses, don't you?
Yeah, it's some chill time right before we get to go to war.
Yeah.
But going to the rugby fields, and then I'm sure you guys saw the clip. I busted my nose open. I forget. Yeah, I took a tackle with Stog, and I have these new Axion helmets, and it's dude, the face mask is huge on that thing. I don't like wearing a what it's called, a visor. Mm-hmm. And so I tapped him in his back plate because how you roll up the shirt because it's 110 degrees out there, and so you're trying to get as much air to your body. But he had his back plate out, and I tackled him, and freaking, what are the chances, dude? I freaking get a back plate to the face. But plays still
I've actually had something like that before happen to me too. Actually, Coach Finley is calling me right now. That's actually kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he told me he's gonna call me with the fam.
Hey, answer him real quick. See what he say.
Okay, bet. What up, crew? Hey, I'm on the podcast. Say hi to Jay Hall and everybody.
Yo.
What's up, Coach Finley?
Yeah. Oh, it's good to see y'all. Appreciate that, Coach. All right, love y'all too. See y'all later. All right.
Hey,
That's
we're gonna
cool.
keep that in.
Yeah, it really shows the family atmosphere. That's awesome.
Hey, you can't make that stuff up. Hey, so wait. First off, that's a reason not to have 4 kids right there. You heard all that yelling in the background?
Yes, for sure.
Hey, B Willie, you and old girl, you better be careful over there in San Francisco.
Oh man, hey, we got some years before that, man. We should be chilling on it, man. We gotta make some. We gotta make a living first. Get a little bit of stack some money a little bit before, and then we'll worry about that a little bit later down the road.
Stack the money, hide the money, dodge the taxes. That's the way.
Smart.
Oh, yeah,
that's not official. That's not financial. Hey, Daddy, chill out.
I'll put that back in my mind next time you ask to hold a little cash.
Hey, I'm an official employee. Don't be getting me in trouble.
Oh man, they be taking it right out my check, but I be like,
who is FICA?
Yeah, it's terrible.
But yeah, Danny, you don't have your beauty mark anymore.
Yeah, I got the stitches out a few days ago, but hey,
I was saying, I did the same thing in college. I got a shoulder pad. I don't know how someone's shoulder pad got out their jersey. Went right in between my face mask. Cut me right here. Still got the mark too. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then after practice, man, it's actually I think there's a new rule where you actually get a 3-hour break, which is actually kind of nice. But
between practice ending and lifting?
Practice ending and then another team meeting. And then we'd have that time. I know kind of me and some other LBs kind of would use that time. Some dudes would sleep. You know how it is in the locker room. You got beds everywhere. People just sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we grab some food and it's right back to film. You going right back up there to study. But then going to team meeting and then film again. It's all meetings. And then some days we'd have I think a walkthrough. Let's go out in the practice on the indoor. Run through some of the plays we saw, and then man, we're already we're kind of game planning for weeks in ahead, man, which is awesome. Already seeing the stuff, which is something we couldn't really do last year. But we're getting ready for not just Arkansas State, but week after week after week, which is something that we couldn't really do last year. But really, Coach Venables just preparing us for the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's good to hear that he's letting y'all sleep in a little bit because 7 sounds very late.
Yeah.
That's nice. Hey, sleep is the best recovery. So, I mean, get an extra hour or two. I mean, I guess an extra hour of sleep, that does wonders for the body. So,
Danny, what time do you get home? Did you get home?
Typically around 8:39.
Yeah.
Kind of around the same time now.
Wow.
Just a class and stuff like that.
That's love, bro. I remember getting home at 9 and waking right back up at like 5.
Bro, it's crazy.
Like 9:30. Yeah.
And then Coach would always say, like, hey, you got a lot of time off now. You guys got over like 8 hours.
Yeah.
But in reality, that's just like sleep. He tries to pop them to bed and pop them right back out. But in terms of guys that really performed well, like fall camp, I was one of those dudes that came in, no one really knew me, but the old heads kind of started to, recognize what I do out on that field. But we kind of had some dudes like that this year, especially at that linebacker room. We got a lot of new dudes coming in, like I said, you don't really know who they are until they step on campus, especially, just summer enrollee dudes. But Lewis Carter, I got to give love to my boy out there.
I heard a lot about him.
He's in Tampa. Dude has like a legit 4.0, like probably a 425 bench. And like, as a freshman coming in is like insane. I remember
that's ridiculous.
I hit like, I want to say like 350 for like 5 or 6. I was kind of, feeling myself.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. And or it was like, maybe it was like 335 or something like that. And he was like, I hit 360 for 8. I was like, bro, there's no way. But, he reminds me a lot of he reminds me a lot of like BA, just the way he moves and his instincts, just a character like that, not too tall. He's a little bow-legged, but, he got the instincts, man. And then, obviously a lot of hype around Deshaun McCullough, and the hype is real. And honestly, that competition between him and Justin Harrington, it's neck and neck every single day.
I've heard about that one.
Yeah, the plays that those guys make, man, it's like they're so like freak athletes, man. It's just insane. But also the new guys, Sammy, I don't know how to say his last name. I couldn't tell you, but it's like Asamigo. He's another dude at the cheetah position. It's kind of a little bit of a learning curve there, but really up front, man, that D line, dude. Having dudes like Trace Ford, Rondell, Dijon Terry, even man, J.K. Kelly doesn't get enough hype, bro. That's legitimately probably the strongest dude on the team, and just that whole D line is just so much improvement from year 1 to year 2. I'm excited, man. But even the corner play, man, it's been great. Those young guys showing out. Gentry Williams has been doing amazing, and Peyton Bowen, obviously at safety. Peyton, Reggie, Billy, and Key, like that. Those safety and free safeties, bro. We are so like we're loaded there, man. It's crazy. I wish we could have 4 on the field at the same time, but they're so talented, man. And then transition to the offensive side of the ball. Obviously outside looking in because I'm not, in the meetings or whatever, how you guys had it. But, that O-line looks so good, man. The way – because, Coach Venables does a lot of exotic pressures, lots of stuff you don't really see. And the way that they pass stuff off, I mean, it's apparent that Beatonbow is just such a good coach, man. He gets these guys in the portal, and he teaches them up so well where, it's like, dang, like we just installed this new blitz, and they handled it perfectly. And it's just that battle every day. And I think at, obviously tight end, having Stogg back, that's a big pickup for us, losing some studs, 2 years in a row. But I think, we'll fill those shoes nicely. And then at receiver, obviously, I got to show love to the boys, man. I can go on all day about the team, man. Dylan's play is amazing. That running back room, I think really there was a lot of hype between Vontae Barnes and Gavin Sawchuk, but man, Marcus Major and Tyree Walker have been another 1-2 punch, man. It's really like a punch combo with those dudes, man. It's crazy. Like
I love the way that you're speaking about your team with enthusiasm. By the way,
you sound so excited, bro.
Yeah,
that's
bro. I mean,
good.
Very
that's a great like sign. Like if you're this excited about your team, bro, that's a great sign. Like,
just so the listeners know, we didn't tell him he had to say all that.
This is all just me right now, just kind of just going with it. But man, the receivers look great, man. I think that was a spot people are kind of weary about. But Drake Stoops, Gavin Freeman, man, those are 2 like white dudes that can play. You guys see Gavin Freeman just going up top on people, hurdling dudes. Like it's just like an everyday thing. And big congrats to him for being put on Scully. That was an awesome moment, to share with everybody. But, man, I could go on and on about this team, man, especially, last year, having that kind of bad taste in my mouth is just from how the season went. But, there's so much excitement going into, Team 129.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the horse's mouth himself, I don't think we could have stated any of that any better. What do you think, B. Willie?
I love, like I said, when you're talking about with that much, excitement about your team, man, that gets me fired up. That gets me excited because I know how it feels to like just have so much confidence in your team, know how good of a team that you have around you. I mean, it sounds like y'all got depth. It sounds like y'all got depth at a lot of places, which is good because some years we've had great players, but we just haven't had a lot of depth. And, that hurts you as the season goes on because it's a long season. So it sounds like y'all got depth. It sounds like y'all got size now. I mean, it sounds like y'all got speed. It sounds like y'all got everything y'all need. Now y'all just got to put it together. The only thing I will weigh in on is y'all have this talented team. Y'all have all these pieces coming together. Just make sure that leadership is strong. To make sure that leadership is strong so that like y'all can actually utilize everything that y'all have. Because if y'all don't have a strong leadership, a strong core, which it sounds like y'all have, strong core in terms of getting along with each other, but strong leadership is going to push y'all over that edge. I'm excited to see it.
To piggyback off of what Brayden just said, from a practical standpoint, well, what does strong leadership look like? And this is not only for you, Danny, but this is for the fans as well. One thing that I feel like that we didn't do a good enough job is being on the same page as a collective inner circle group before things went bad, before the first loss. Not to say that we weren't, but we didn't. We started meeting more, like with Link or with an assistant coach, just when things were when tensions were tight and we just didn't feel the same. So I suggest that you continue to grab your dinner, not only meet up with the coaches, but see if you can, be like, hey, leaders, let's just have a little quick, 5, 10, 15-minute leadership talk, start this week off right. That's the practicalness behind the be a better leader.
For sure. Especially that's kind of one thing that honestly I think this team is missing, because I know, previous years we'd always have like kind of just like the player-led team meetings, and obviously like some dudes wouldn't buy into that. I think that was kind of like a, it's just kind of how it goes. But I think at the end of the day, those are good for a team, just having the leaders stand up and address issues. I think that was something we didn't really do last year, maybe sometimes, but, I think that's something that we need to implement more.
Yeah.
It's going to be very important for y'all to have player-led meetings and just a player-led program in general, because like we said all the time last year, like a coach can only say so much. A coach can only do so much. Like those guys are looking at you or someone that like a Dylan Gabriel on offense, and they're more inclined to like this is a guy that's doing it every day with them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're seeing you put in all the work, right? And they're like, okay, he's doing everything. He's doing the same thing I'm doing. They're more inclined to listen to you than a coach that's not exactly doing the same thing they are. So it's very important to have a strong, older presence and guys that speak up. You know what I'm saying? Don't let anything slide. I mean, you all know this. You saw a lot of it, last year. And I think that you're in a, great position. So just make sure that's tight, because that's going to be the biggest difference.
No, for sure. I think especially with Coach Venables, player-led is everything. And that's just something, especially with a lot of new guys. But I think we've done a tremendous job just trying to figure out everyone's role. And that's something that has been awesome for the team.
Last touch on fall camp here before we move on. What do you think as a collective, as a defense, as a defensive captain, what do you think that the biggest difference is between last year in the fall camp and this year in the fall camp?
I think, last year a lot of dudes are kind of figuring things out. I think, kind of with the new system and everything, dudes are not playing as like to the best of their ability, dude. They're overthinking their reads, their assignments, their job, and what they're seeing on the field. I think now just kind of just being out there with everyone kind of already having, some experience under their belts, the new guys coming in, being taught by the players, it's really great. And then we're out there just flying around, having fun. making those big plays that are kind of the layups.
Yeah, it makes a difference for sure.
100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, D Stutz himself, fall camp review. Moving on to our next part of the podcast, an exciting reveal coming up next. HomeField Apparel is a premium collegiate apparel brand based in Indianapolis. They emphasize their commitment to creating incredibly comfortable, officially licensed apparel with vintage college designs. They feature a growing collection of over 150 colleges to choose from, including, of course, Oklahoma.
Ladies and gentlemen, HomeField designs are super unique because they dove into the architects and history of each school, using unique logos, mascots, iconic moments to create thoughtfully designed apparel. They are all about authenticity and nostalgia.
It's not the typical Oklahoma gear you usually see. You can find them at homefieldapparel.com, where you can see their selection of colleges available.
And guess what? Our listeners get 15% off their first order with a discount code Prairie23. That's Prairie23. It's a perfect apparel to get you ready for the upcoming season, so check them out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Podcast on the Prairie. Hope you enjoyed your advertisement. And I know there's been a lot of uncertainty with the future of the podcast, with B-Will, making NFL roster, J Hall being the best finance person in the world. But rest assured, there is a plan for this podcast, an amazing one that has been so hard to keep from leaking out into Sooner Nation media. And I would like to present your 2023 Season 3, Episode 1, your new host from Hays, Kansas, coming in at 6'3", 230 pounds, Jared the Mechanic. And the crowd goes crazy. Who would have saw this coming out of nowhere? Welcome, Jared, to the podcast. It's great to have you.
It's great to be here. Thank you guys for having me so much.
Oh, man. What an entrance.
What? I don't even know what to say.
6'3" is a little generous. I'm not going to lie. It's just a little
That's
generous.
amazing.
But
I love
I appreciate that.
I wonder how he is with his girlfriend.
Oh, you have no idea. Wait, who?
Never mind. This is a PG show. Jaron.
Family friendly.
Bro, it's great to have you on.
I'm excited to be here. This is awesome, dude.
Were you expecting this at all? Like when you got to OU, you're like, I'm gonna end up on a podcast or something like that.
No, I've actually it's kind of bad to say, but I've never been a fan of podcasts. I've always thought that they were stupid.
Whoa.
And
what
now your first host to ever leave the podcast from Hays.
New co-host. No, I mean, I've had my views changed. Before I knew this was happening, I actually, no offense, had never listened to one of your guys's, but I've been catching up to them. Been doing my studying, but yeah, I was never really a fan of podcasts. They were kind of just boring to me, not really my style. But I've come accustomed to them, and started to enjoy them a little more. So I'm excited.
Bro.
It just wasn't the right style for you, huh? Like, you just like a lot of guys that don't have any humor, dry podcasts out there. We're a little different,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand.
We're going to revolutionize it.
Of course.
Yeah, when we first started, we weren't very good, but we got some solid fans, bro. They hyped us up for real. That's really what it was.
Yeah, we do.
So, hey, wait, I never asked Danny, how did you talk to Jaron about asking him to get on the podcast?
I was like, look, Jaron, I have a once in a lifetime opportunity for you, and I don't offer this type of advice to normal people. I look out for you because you're kind of, someone that I would call a dear friend of mine. And I would say you'd be downright an idiot if you did not accept this opportunity to be a co-host on the podcast. I think the predecessors before us have kind of laid the foundation for what it takes to be a great, a great player and a great podcast host to develop skills for your future that, kind of, if you can be good in front of a microphone, you can go a long ways in life. And I said, look, this is something you can get great experience with. You should definitely do it. And it was a no-brainer decision for him. He didn't even think twice. But, and then, one phone call led to another. We got the guy.
pretty much nailed
That's
it.
easy.
Like you said,
That was
Free agency.
impressive.
I mean, come on now. I mean, we're the top dogs in free agency. Like, it's kind of a no-brainer. We're gonna get the top.
I mean,
like, come on, now.
I see these freshmen and sophomores, the young kids at OU making podcasts and stuff, but we're OGs.
I mean, come on now.
It was really quick on our end, Jaron. We were like, "Yo, Danny, like you can pick whoever you want," and then like I don't know, maybe 30 minutes later, he was like, "I got him. Don't even worry about it."
Yeah, I think
all right.
Looking at the dynamic, going from tight end to tight end, seeing the offensive side of the ball, with Link and how that was, and now transitioning to defense, defensive side of the ball, 2 linebackers, and kind of seeing more Brent Venables, kind of point of view on stuff, and I think it's a great transition for the fans. I think defense is kind of the new staple at Oklahoma.
I love it.
Hey, somebody write that down.
Make that a quote.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt.
On Twitter.
I love it. Hey, I actually was gonna say that too. I love it how it was tight end, and in our offense, y'all know that we did a lot in our offense, right? So we split out. We're in the backfield. I mean, we did a whole lot. We were almost like a second quarterback out there. So I love that it goes from us two to y'all two, which are the quarterbacks of the defense. Y'all run everything. Y'all are the staple of that defense. So I just love the dynamic of it, and like obviously. Like we've seen y'all's antics on Twitter and the movies that y'all made and everything like that. So I think y'all are great for it. So I'm excited.
Speaking of antics, Jaron, how did you let Danny change you into doing all this? Like you weren't like this beforehand, were you? Like what? Where did all this come from?
I say it evolved. I've always been kind of an ornery person, so to say. So, coming in, I think. When we mixed our personalities together, we just grew into this different creature that we really, encourage people to do. We encourage each other to be even more dumb than we originally were. So I think it's definitely interesting.
Do you guys have any planned celebrations for on the field, like after a sack or something?
We were actually talking about that yesterday. As a matter of fact, someone asked us the same question. You can see sometimes watching film, like Jaron would make a play, and I'd be right there to celebrate with him, and he would just like walk away. Like the dude wouldn't know what to do. So obviously, we were gonna plan some. Right now, we don't. We kind of maybe have like nothing, but we're gonna work on it. We gotta have something cool. Maybe like do something like some sword celebration would be pretty cool or something like that.
Please come up with something. Yeah,
like whoever makes a sack, like stabs the other person, they like grab their chest. That'd be kind of cool or something like that.
Grab their chest.
We got some stuff in the works.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys thought about being on the podcast together throughout the season? Like, what can the fans expect from Danny and Jaron, DJ, the duo? We got to, first off, also, we got to find you guys some nicknames too, by the way, because Danny and Jaron just sounds,
I mean, little Stutz. We got Stutz and, I don't know, Jaron. We got to figure out something for you.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. But, I think I kind of touched on it earlier. You guys really saw the offensive side of the ball. And, we're kind of more involved with the defense and everything the ins and outs of that. And I think that'll be, kind of a refresher for the Oklahoma Sooner fans. And I know they hear a lot of offense, but I don't think defense gets enough, sunshine.
Yeah.
Hey, a piece of advice. I haven't mentioned this off camera, but you guys will be responsible for getting our interviews from now on. So,
we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, just the word to the wise. By the end of the fourth quarter, make sure you say something to whoever the player of the game is, all right?
And, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah.
You're going to go to someone and they're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you're going to go back to them and they're going to be like, oh, bro, today? Man, I got something to do. And you're going to be like, bro, I told you this a week ago. So just words of the wise, just, over communicate. Just let y'all know.
You got to make it easy for them. 4 o'clock, download Google Chrome. Here's the link. Make sure you got a MacBook or a laptop with a camera. Be very detailed. Okay.
Hey, we can do that. We can do that.
We got to cover it.
Hey, but no, in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, Danny and Jaron aren't completely taking over the podcast. However, we record on, early in the week. Brayden's playing early in the week. I got work and stuff, so at least you'll always see at least me or B Willie. Most of the time, both of us. But we know that the focus is in the locker room, so we want to keep the focus in the locker room. That's why we got Danny and Jaron. Jaron, real quick, throw some spotlight on you, my boy. This is your official introduction. You know, Sooner fans know you from previous interviews and all this other stuff, but give us a glimpse on how you got here. Okay, I know you a former Clemson commit. You've probably told the story a bunch of times. Now I just saw the game time roster drop. You've taken Danny's spot at the mic. Mm-hmm. How did you get to where you are now? Like, what? Tell us your story.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like you said, originally it was Clemson all the way. I liked them the most coming out of high school. I was pretty heavily recruited there near the end of my high school years, and then Clemson felt like the place to be. Particularly under Coach Venables. I loved what he brought and his vision for me. So Clemson was a spot for me. And then the coaching change happened, and that kind of threw a wrench in my plan. But ended up working out, and I ended up getting here to the University of Oklahoma. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad I made it here, obviously. And getting here, it's been nothing but love from the community and from the team. And we're really excited about everything that's going on here. And I've loved Norman so far, and I wouldn't go back and do anything differently. I'm super excited for all the opportunities that have been blessed with here, and I'm just looking forward to the future. Not only on this podcast, but on the field. You know what I mean?
Hey, baby. So Venables originally told you to stay committed to Clemson, correct?
Mm-hmm. So the deal with that is Coach Venables had given his word to Coach Sweeney. He's a big, heavy man of his word. He'd given his word to Coach Sweeney that he wasn't going to, because this coaching transition happened before the next signing day. It was in that December signing day, that first signing day period. So he gave his word that he wasn't going to try and steal any of the pre-established Clemson commits or try and take anybody in the portal and that kind of thing. And so, just because he had so much respect for Sweeney and the way he's developed him as a coach and as a man and the decade that he was there. And so basically promised, like, yeah, I'm not going to take any of these recruits. I'm not going to take any transfers. Like, this is your team. They can do their thing. So when I originally approached him, I was like, man, I'm coming to Clemson for you. Like, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it straight with you. I was coming to Clemson to play for you. And so I want to play for you to Oklahoma. That's what I want to do. And he basically said, like, yeah, it's, I gave Sweeney my word that I wasn't going to allow that. And he basically said, like, you can't come here. I want you to go to Clemson, and I want you to try it, because I think at the end of the day, what Coach Sweeney has going on there is a great thing. And I think that you're going to thrive in that system, and you're going to thrive under the staff that he's going to build, the new defensive staff. And I think it's going to be great for you. And I said, all right, I'll think about it. But, obviously that didn't happen, and we ended up where we are now. So wouldn't have had it any other way.
What made you so confident in sticking with Oklahoma? Have you always been like that? I
mean, obviously there's Oklahoma that has such a rich history, and it being so close to my home. How could I not hear about it? Like everybody where I'm from grew up like a KU K-State fan, and all they ever back in the day before K-State started kind of sneaking in and beating us for a little bit there, but we won't talk about that. But and it was always Oklahoma. Everybody was talking about Oklahoma. Oklahoma was the biggest thing in the Midwest, and it's pretty close to my home. I'm a gas tank away in Kansas, so everybody's heard of Oklahoma where I'm from, and we know about the tradition and then the history, and then bringing Coach Venables, which was my personal relation to it, into that mix, it was a no-brainer for me. And I originally came and visited OU before this new staff got here, and they were in my top three. It was like Clemson, Georgia, Oklahoma, and that was my top three. And I loved it here, and I loved the history and the legacy of the program, and what the atmosphere of the place, how close it was to my home, and I thought this could be a great place for me to live and play football, and maybe have a family someday. And so when Coach V got brought in that when Coach V got brought into that equation, it just made it that much more special. So
my boy said have a family.
Hold up.
When Danny said he made a face, I was like.
No, I asked you that question because for someone to look a grown man in the eyes at what I'm sure you're 17, 18 years old at this point, and not only a grown man, but Coach Venables of all people, and say, I'm sticking with my guns and I'm coming to OU regardless. That's heavy. Like that, it's not normal for someone so young to be such mature in their decision making. And so I say all that to say, I'm already impressed. Already impressed. High praise from J Hall, Jaron.
That means a lot. Appreciate that.
Brayden, I don't know. I probably would have been a little bit nervous doing something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You would have done it too?
I you know me, I probably would have done it too. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to go for it, you know? I mean, I guess
it's because you played a while. When when you play that, when you're a true like 6'2", 6'1" H, and you're just out here hoping that you get on the field, you get a little bit more nervous, bro. I don't know.
Understood.
I don't know. All right, so guys, Danny. Also, I didn't mean to say that he took your spot. I'm just saying that he plays the mic. You're no longer at the mic. You're playing outside.
I was never at the mic, but it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, my bad, Danny. I mean, Jaron. You're calling the shots, bud. Am I right?
Pretty much.
What's it like? You're in charge of possibly the number one defense soon to be in the country.
It's awesome. I mean, obviously Danny's in there and he kind of helps out a bit sometimes, and I help him out because he's constantly has no idea what's going on. So, all jokes aside, Danny is a big help, and it's more like a dual thing. We're both calling the shots, letting everybody know what to do, where to get lined up, and that thing. And so, it's awesome, man, being in charge of something like that, and it's a cool thing.
Danny, how would you compare Jaron to former players that we've had? Would you say that he is comparable, or is he just his own deal?
Hey, Jaron, mute your turn down your audio so I don't blow your head up real quick. But I think Jaron, obviously, he's a dude that ran a 10.3 in high school, and I think that's there's only one other dude that I kind of know stories like that. Actually, two, probably. Number one, Teddy Lamon. That's a dude that can just flat out run. And man, but the way Jaron, obviously, he's never played linebacker before. That was a huge learning curve. But the dude's a hard worker. When Coach Venables is calling him some crazy stuff, he takes it with a straight face, yes sir, and he responds. And that's something that it's kind of rare because a lot of guys come in and get frustrated, aren't really figuring it out right away. But he put in the work, man, to have this opportunity. I'm really proud for him. That's kind of something that he's always talked about with me, that what he wants to do. And his work ethic is kind of unparalleled, man. He's always doing the extra, man. He's always on top of his game. He always knows what everyone else around him is doing, and that kind of work gets rewarded. And I'm very proud to see what he does on Saturday, man. I got high expectations, and if he doesn't have 15 to 20 tackles, it's kind of a disappointment in my books.
I got the 10. What was it? 10-6-7?
10-3-7.
10-3-7? I got it written down in here in my notes right quick. I was going to pull that up. How? What?
The wind was blowing.
There was no wind. Actually, it was wind legal. That's actually what kind of really kickstarted my recruitment. I mean, before that, I was getting recruited, but it wasn't anything crazy. It was like some Midwest schools, stuff like that. And then I ran that 10-3 and like talk about like recruitment exploding, like off the map one day, big 4-star, whatever that means, guy one day. Like I got there was a day where I got 5 offers in one day, like 12 offers in a week. Like it was just crazy. Like every high school kid from Kansas wants to play football, call it his dream. Like just crazy. That's obviously something that I can attribute to the work I put in high school, and my high school coaches getting on me and realizing my potential and basically instilling in me that if you work for this, you can have it. And so that's something that was really beneficial for my recruitment and whatnot.
And actually, if I could barge in, he might have ran this 10-3 and kind of blew up, in the recruiting aspect. But actually, Jaron, for a lot of fans that don't know, actually went viral on TikTok for these series of dances that he kind of revolutionized. And I think he kind of blew up on the social media aspect of it because I guess he has some moves. So I don't want to leave that out there.
I appreciate that.
You got some.
I think,
you got some.
We can throw in the clip. A lot of people are gonna be like, "I've seen that video before. I just didn't know it was him."
Yeah, that was one of the things I got to Oklahoma is I like showed that video, or somebody had found that video and like they didn't know it was me. Like when everybody saw it for the first time, they remember seeing the video, but they had no idea it was me. And like, wait, that was you? And I was like, I mean, I guess it's kind of embarrassing. I don't really want to be known as I don't want to be known as a TikToker. Like when you Google, somebody said this to me the other day. When you Google Jaron Kanik, like the description comes off as internet personality. And when you Google Danny or either of you, it comes off as football player or something like that.
Oh,
so
snap. You're so
Google me, I'm an
it does.
so I apparently I'm more so known on TikTok than I'm on the field. So I'm looking to change that.
That'll change soon. Don't you guys
They
worry.
are gonna have a field day with you when you get to an NFL team, boy.
Oh, this is great. We just got a new editor, supposedly, so I'm already on it. Can I all right, Jaron Kanak, I'm gonna type it in TikTok.
Oh man.
See what comes up. Oh yeah. All right. I gotta look at it afterwards. 70,000 likes? No, bro. You got like over 500,000 likes on this.
I'm really at one.
He's watching.
I'm not gonna lie. It's really like 1 or 2 or 3 videos I posted in the same day. They all got like a couple dozen million views, and that's really all I've done so far.
Jeez. Hey, honestly though, we might have to have you and B Willie race because he's always the fastest, plays quarterback. Was the former president in a previous lifetime. You know, he does it all. So y'all might have a little bit of competition going on.
Man, you can do that.
No, I like.
Hey, B-Will, come on, bro. B-Will, let's be for real here.
No, for real. I'm not running no 10-3, so yeah.
Jaron came in here and ran like a 4.4, like 40, like right out the gate. Obviously,
no, for sure. I know. No, I know.
But
yeah, that's true. But also, side note, everybody run fast when they first get in there as a freshman. No injuries, no off-season, all that other stuff.
That's fact.
I came in there blazing. But yeah, no, you definitely got me for sure. But yeah, you definitely got me. Hey, don't sleep though. The boy's starting to get healthy again. I'm starting to get my wheels back. So Yeah.
Speaking of, we're sitting over here talking about Jaron. My boy just made the 53 man today.
Man of the hour.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all.
We were talking about that before the podcast. Nah, that's what we should be talking about.
Scratch the whole video once we start it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It's been a great experience so far. I want to say first and foremost that like when I got there, you know, you get there and you don't really know what to expect. It's the NFL. Like you hear good stories, you hear bad stories, you hear horror stories, you hear like, okay, that's kind of cool, right? So like I've heard a lot of stories about, you know, guys going in and their vets, you know, aren't good vets. You know, they're telling you bet like the wrong play, or they're just trying to kind of mess you up a little bit because they feel threatened by you or whatever. But like I've never really I went to a great place with a lot of great people in the locker room, and I want to shout out my vets, you know, because they've been great since the day I got there. Like all they do is just help me out. They give me little tidbits. George Kittle, best tight end in the game. You know, he just gives me constant, you know, tips and encouragement. And he's the first person to celebrate when I do something, make a play, whatever. Same thing with the other guys, Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly, Troy Fumagalli, and my other tight end that I was drafted with, other rookie, Cam Latu. But, yeah, great room. So, like, you know, that also obviously put me in a great situation. We lost Danny. Danny went dark. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
All right. But, yeah, just to give a quick rundown on how camp's going. I went into OTAs. I did really well in OTAs, you know, just getting out there. But the thing about OTAs is you don't really know what you're doing, per se. Like, you're going out there and playing, but you're like the playbook is still very new to you, right? So you going in and, you know, you go to OTAs, you have 40 days off where you're like, okay, I'm going to grind on this playbook. I'm going to make sure I'm ready physically, whatever the case may be, right? It don't matter how much you grind on that playbook. I promise you, when you get to fall camp, you are not ready. You get to fall camp, and bro, you're like, you know, bullets start flying, and after install, bro, it's like, and they start throwing stuff at you. Like the funniest thing about the NFL that I've like come to realize is that like there's really no installs. Like the first 6 days for us, we did installs, right? First 6 days. And then after that, everything goes, right? We have call-up periods and everything goes. Yep. But, like, we didn't learn the whole playbook. So I'm in there a couple times and, like, you know, they call a play. And I'm sitting in the huddle like, what is this? And so I'm sitting up there trying to rack my brain, and I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together because I'm starting to understand the offense a little bit better. And then I go out there and I do it right because, you know, linked it to some other, combination that we have or whatever. And our coach is like, "Oh, good job doing that. I don't think we ever talked about that." And I'm like,
yeah,
bro, but no, it's really cool, bro. It's a lot of work. It's more mental. So yeah, that's the biggest thing I've seen. The guys, there's a couple guys that are bigger, some guys are faster, all that stuff. But I noticed right away when I came in, I was like, I could play here. Like my talent is on par with all these guys. Like I felt the same way when I came to college. The biggest thing I noticed is that guys, the mental aspect of it is so much like they're so
sharp.
much further along. Like guys don't take false steps. They don't make bad reads. Like everybody, they're on it. Like it's just to another level. So just getting up there, trying to get to the same level as those guys, and like I said, bullets start flying during fall camp. All you could do is just study, make sure you're making the least amount of mistakes possible. Never want to make the same mistake twice, and then just go out there and make plays. I did see that the first week that when I got there, and I was I did great the first week, and then we start because that was installs. The second week that wasn't installs, I started to slow down my play because we started doing call-its, and I'm like, oh, hold on, But then after that, I felt like I picked it back up, and I started playing like myself. So it's been an interesting experience to say the least. It's been a long experience. Like I said, that thing is camp is like a month and a week. You know what I'm saying? You have preseason games in between that, so you're actually having games and taking reps and all that other stuff. And then you have stuff like rookie duties. Like I had to go get snacks and fill the position room up with snacks, and I had my rookie dinner, which I'll speak about in a second. I had a rookie talent show.
Run you.
Hey man,
that boy had to cut
my rookie dinner. My rookie dinner was in Vegas. So because that was where we had our first preseason game, and George picked a place. He picked a sushi place that was also dueled as like a steakhouse too, which I already knew when he picked that. I was like, no, because bro, sushi in a landlocked state, like, come on, bro, that's gonna be expensive. And you got all these big guys, right? You got my whole tight end room, and they were bringing the quarterbacks with us, right? So you're telling me that like a little roll of sushi, that's gonna fill up all these guys, bro? No, they're about to. It's like $30 a roll, and they're about to order like 10 rolls. Then we had all the appetizers. Basically, George was like, just bring us like a little buffet of everything. Just get us everything on the menu. And I was like, whatever. They started bringing out wine, and there was this one wine that all of us liked, so they ordered like 15 bottles of wine. I just started drinking wine, and I was like, hey, however it goes is however it goes. I'm not gonna look at the tab. I'm just gonna pay it. I'm just gonna give a card and call it a day. They ordered Wagyu A5 Japanese Wagyu. They had I just learned yesterday that my boy Charlie Warner, tight end in my position group, he was like, he had a tomahawk steak, right? I thought it was just a regular tomahawk steak. He's like, oh no, bro, that was yesterday. He told me, oh yeah, that was the Japanese Wagyu tomahawk steak. That thing was like $450. I was like, whoa. But no, on a real note though, it's something that you gotta do. It was we had a good time. The food was really good. So, it ended up being a total of $6,000. I didn't have to pay that alone though. Me and the other rookie in my group, Cam, we split it, and involved in the tip and everything like that. Which, if you're a waiter and you get a tip like that, that's your whole rent right there. Like, that's lovely. But yeah, did that, and had a good time. And then we had a rookie talent show. When y'all get some free time, go on George Kittle's page, right? He has this this little reel, and it's a Chubby's commercial where he's basically naked and he talks about his chubby line coming out. I recreated the video of him doing that and did that for my rookie talent show. So that was cool. Yeah, I had it took me about 2 off days. That was cool. He thought it was good, so that's all that matters. And other than that, they randomly tell you to get up there and tell jokes. So you got to have like 5 jokes ready. And yeah, I mean, just getting used to a new process and a new way that teams do everything. You know, like we had a process at Oklahoma. It's a little bit different here, but just getting used to doing that and just learning, like, you know, about the state, about the city, and just the team in general. But it's been a great experience. Got to play my first game in Levi Stadium. That was cool. Now, you know, first week we're going to Pittsburgh. I make the team. First week we're going to Pittsburgh, get to play against Trey Norwood and them.
Yeah.
Hey, Pittsburgh got a great team, man. You know, Coach Tomlin always has them ready. He's never had a losing season, first off. That defense is crazy, and their offense is, like, actually really good, and they, like, got better throughout the season. So that's going to be a big test for us, and you know, I'm just excited to be, you know, going down there for a ride, man. So it's going to be fun. But, yeah, great experience, long fall camp. I can't wait till y'all experience something like that because it is 100% worth it, you know. Like, all the hard work is worth it. It is a lot, but y'all do fine. So,
man,
it's kind of
I can't tell you enough how proud we are.
I appreciate that.
I know we were getting on to Danny about this earlier in the episode, but hearing your enthusiasm and your excitement, and even though the rookie bill was however much, just I know how hard you've worked. I've been there right by your side through besides last year, and so to see you fulfill your dreams and see how happy I know your family is I can't even describe. So we're proud of you. Continue to represent, man. Hey, you got to get the pod a shout out somehow, some way. I don't care how you do it. The pod
I told Jay, I don't think y'all know. Just know that this thing, it goes way further than like just Oklahoma and fans, bro. Like, I got to the Niners, bro. We're doing media day. Our media people handed me like a little bracelet, and it had Weight Room Willie on it. And they're like, "Oh yeah, when y'all gonna have another podcast?"
No,
I'm like, when we gonna have another podcast? I'm like, y'all listen to the podcast? So I called Jay Hall and I'm like, yo, bro, they listen to our podcast during the draft, bro, during the combine and everything. Guys were like, you have a podcast, don't you? Oh, okay, yeah. Or they'd be like, I heard you have a podcast. What's the name? Okay, I'm gonna go check that out. So it goes way bigger than what y'all think it does. So you know, this does build a little bit of reputation for you. It allows people to see who you are before you even get there. So, you know, it's good, man. We came a long way.
And Jaron didn't like podcasts. What now, my boy? Oh man. Hey, lastly, guys, before we wrap things up, it's week 1. Danny, Jaron, give us real quick before we head on out a preview of what we can expect this coming weekend.
Man, I think you're going to see a suffocating defense and an explosive offense. That's all I got to say.
Jaron?
Quoting directly from Coach V there. We're going to run the ball. We're going to play fast, physical, aggressive, suffocate them, you know. But we're going to have a good time. We're going to fly around. First game of the season. Work out the kinks and, you know, just kind of show what we've been working on in the offseason and the work we put in. So we're excited for it.
I'm excited.
Y'all have to do well because my coach is actually we have a coach and actually an equipment guy. One's a Polk fan. He's an OK State fan. And then our coach actually, I'm pretty sure he went to Texas. So y'all have to do well for my sake. So let's go.
We got you, man. That game, that game's on our schedule since we've been. You know how it goes, man. It's just.
I need it. I need a little revenge, man. Side note, I also still catch strays from that game. Like, I've been wanting to get on a podcast to say this. Like, I love our fans, but I don't know how I catch strays from that game. They're like, "Y'all happy for beating us? We had a tight end playing quarterback." I'm like, I tried to do everything I could. How am I catching the strays? I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't make the decision.
Hey, B. Willie, word of advice for you. As a fan, as a fan, when you watch these games, buckle in, buddy.
Oh, I'm about to de-stress. I know.
Buckle in.
My boys got it. Hey, my boys got it down, bro. We gonna be all right.
Oh, no, they're going to hold it down. They're going to hold it down. I got the faith. We good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for this episode. Season 3, episode 1. What a start to the season. That's all I got. B?
Man, I just want to shout out all the OU fans, and there's Niner fans going to listen to this now, but all the love that y'all showed me today, man, it's been great. So, shout out, continuous love for y'all, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Oh, yeah. Signing off. That's a wrap.
Hopefully I'm actually in frame this time.
Yeah, you're right. No crop.